everyone, Lucas Iridius here from Aussie Gamers Express, and today I'm bringing you an unboxing video and a review of the ASUS ZenBook UX360UA. And first of all, we're going to do an unboxing, then I'm going to use it for a little bit and come back to you guys with a review. But with a bit of movie magic, it's going to be right after the unboxing in this video. So let's get straight into that part now. So here's the box for the ASUS ZenBook Flip, or the 360UA. Let's get it open. No tape on it this time, which is good because I'm not allowed to play with knives. Alright, now obviously the computer is there, but let's have a look. What do we got here? The power, ASUS power cable there. That's in one piece. Usually you get a couple of little bits that you have to plug in. Yes, so that just goes into the wall instead of having a brick in the middle. Okay, that's different. But there you go. What's this thing? USB Ethernet. Okay, that must be an Ethernet cable. Mustn't have one on the actual computer itself. That's all that's in there. Is there anything underneath the computer? Let's have a quick look, and then we'll have a look at the computer itself. Oh, it comes with a pouch. That's neat. It doesn't normally happen when you buy. Well, none of the laptops I've ever bought in the past came with a pouch. Put that aside. Some documentation. In search of the incredible. Well, I would say if I was marketing for this, search no more. You're here, but anyway, we'll see. Alright, cool. And a warranty card, we'll put that aside. Don't want to lose those. Anything under here? Looks like a little secret compartment that it doesn't want me to get to. There's nothing under there, that's why. Alright, let's put the box away. And we'll put this away. And let's bring the computer over. Now, so being a flip and a 360 in the name, the screen should turn around. There we go. So that's looks like a laptop. It's nice and thin. I think that's the big selling point of this thing. It's nice and thin. So we got USB, that should be USB 2 because it's black. Full-size HDMI port there. Now that's courage. USB 3 Type C, headphones, SD card reader. We've got on the other side. Volume and power. That's the power there. Oh, and another USB. I do believe there's some USB. I hope there's USB 3s, but like I said, I'm a little bit clueless when it comes to this when I do the unboxing, and I'll do my research and come back with the review. So let's have a look. So is this thing meant to spin? No, it's meant. It doesn't. I thought it spun like on that axis, but I don't believe it does. I think the 360 element is like that. Yeah. So it goes all the way around. So you can use it as a tablet. It's got feet there. It's got feet on there, so you can lay it down flat. Yeah, and that's sitting on the rubber as opposed to the keys. And you can use it as a tablet. Or there's this one that I've seen, which is like presentation mode, if you're going to watch a movie or something, or show people stuff. And of course there's your regular, I'm using a laptop mode. So there you go. Alright, the keys feel nice. They're fairly flush. They're only like about a mil off the, well, there might be a couple of mil off the board, I don't know what even you want to call it, the surface. Harman Kardon speakers. It's an Intel Core i5. It has HDMI, like I mentioned. These hinges look pretty cool. They're like a brass looking thing. Yeah. Looks like a brushed alloy. I don't know if it is. Actually, I think it is some sort of metal finish on there, which is quite nice. But yeah, look, there's not really much more to say other than, okay, it's a decent size. Apparently this thing gives you up to 12 hours of battery life, but I'll test that out. Oh, and yeah, okay, so that's what this thing is, because it doesn't have one of those Ethernet ports, so you can plug that in to connect up to an Ethernet cable. But I'm going to test out the Wi-Fi as well, because I want to know how well the Wi-Fi goes. And I'll test that with my 100 megabit connection. Okay, so now we're up to the review portion of this video, where I'm going to go through some of the technical specifications and what I actually think of the ZenBook UX360UA. So let's have a look now. Okay, we're going to start off with the specifications, and to kick off, Intel Core i5 processor is inside there, and it comes standard with Windows 10 operating system. 8 gigabytes of SD RAM and a 13.3-inch backlit touchscreen that puts out 1080p HD resolution, or full HD resolution. There's an integrated Intel HD graphics card 520, which is equivalent to an NVIDIA GeForce 820M or a Radeon R7 240. It has a 256 gigabyte SATA 3 SSD drive for storage, which is nice and fast. There's also an illuminated keyboard, which you can't see too much in this one here, but I'll show you an image on the screen there, which is good for nighttime there. An SD card reader on the side here, so you can put your memory cards in from your cameras and things like that. Next up, there is a HD 720p resolution webcam, and standard comes with Wi-Fi, and a 1x combo jack for audio and microphone, so you can put an external microphone or headphones in there for you if you like. 2 USB 3 ports. Now I used to think that the standard for USB 3 was to have the blue insert in there, but this one doesn't have the blue, they're just black. So there's one on that side and then one on the reverse side there. So 2 USB 3 ports. And there is a USB Type-C Gen 1 port there for really fast connectivity there if you've got anything that is compatible with that kind of a port. There is a full-size HDMI port there, so you can plug it just using a normal HDMI cable into your TV or anything that you want to display, whether it be a projector or something like that. So you don't need any adapters or any special cables, just the normal full HD there. On the other side, if we switch it around, we've got the volume switches, volume up and volume down. So they're nice, but they're nice buttons. They're metallic and they feel nice and positive to press, and that's your power button right next to it, which will also put it to sleep. See, turns the screen off there, and you can bring it back up. There you go. There are 2 stereo speakers, and they are underneath. Let me close this up. Where we got them here. So we've got one speaker there on that side and another speaker on the other side, and it puts out some decent sound. We'll show you a bit of a demonstration of that a little bit later in the video, where I compared it with an iPad Pro. Also, the battery included is a 57 watt-hours battery, which promises up to 12 hours battery life. It's quite a good battery. It's running quite low at the moment, but I've only given this one charge and I've been using it for, yeah, probably a good 5 to 6 hours, and it's been on standby for a while as well. The total weight is 1.27 kilograms, which is quite light and quite reasonable for a laptop, but it is quite small as well. Nice thin profile, which makes it a real compact, easy to take everywhere computer, laptop. All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the touch screen. Now it's 1080p, which is nice and good, but it's only a small screen. It's only 13.3 inches, so it's not massive, but it looks nice. It has got some really good colors displayed. Obviously I can't show that off too well. Can't show it off as well as it should, but because I'm obviously just recording the screen here, but it's nice and crisp and clear, and has a good refresh rate on it as well. It runs quite well. The touch screen on it is nice and sensitive. I'm pretty particular when it comes to touchscreen, and I would say that this is probably the closest thing to just using a phone or a tablet or anything like that. It works quite well. Let me go to, I'll go to YouTube. You can hit the searches like that and just touch the screen. And then you can scroll through things just like you would on a phone or a tablet, which is pretty impressive. So There you go. Now the 256 gigabyte SATA 3 SSD storage is good. It is super fast. Let me just show you now. It takes 13 seconds in total to power up from completely off until logged into Windows 10, which is pretty good. That there is absolutely amazing. I was really impressed with that test. I didn't know what to expect when I started that test, but it impressed me. So it's nice and fast. The only thing is, it's kind of on the small size, being only 256 gigabytes. It would have been nicer to have maybe the 500, but this model here has the 256 gigabytes. But being a small tablet, or a tablet style laptop PC that can be used as a tablet, that's plenty, considering you're only getting, say, your 128s and things like that in your iPads. Next up, the illuminated keyboard. Now, I do appreciate an illuminated keyboard. As you can see on the screen now, it looks quite nice. It lights up. It's a nice white backlight, so you can see the keys nice and easily. And it's something that not every single laptop comes with, but it's really appreciated when they do come with it. So this one has that included. Now, moving over to the HD webcam. Now, what I'll do is I'll boot this up. Let me go into camera. It's not very good at all. Now, as you can see, it's got the camera there and me. Hello. I might, no, I can't shut off the light. But yeah, it's not the clearest sort of picture. Let me just switch across to video and I'll do a bit of a recording. Hi, this is me checking out the video camera or the webcam on the ASUS ZenBook 360. So let's see, I'll have superimposed this video into the actual finished product and see. That's, I mean, it's not the greatest. It's fairly grainy compared to like my iPad that I have used and my camera that I'm using now. But I mean, it's going to do the job when you're doing like a Skype call or something like that, or just normal webcam stuff, but it's not going to blow you away. It's a 720p maximum, and yeah, that's about it. So we'll close that down. Okay, so next, the graphics card. As I said, it's got the integrated Intel HD graphics 520, which is like your GeForce 820 or Radeon R7 240. I put it to the test and I played a couple of games. So although this computer isn't made for gaming, it's more of a general purpose laptop slash tablet. You can still play games and get a good time out of them. So I checked out a low requirement game like Rocket League, and you can play a decent 30 frames a second when you're on the regular settings. But if you can bump the settings all the way down, you can manage a solid 60 frames a second. It doesn't look that great, but it's still totally playable, which is pretty cool. And this is also playing at 720p, which doesn't really make too much of a difference on a 13-inch screen. For something a little bit more demanding, I did test it out playing Rise, Son of Rome. And this is on the regular settings. It kind of struggled to put out 13 frames a second, which in my opinion is not playable whatsoever. But I lowered all the settings down and I managed to get it to a rough playable 20 frames a second. Playable but not desirable. So although these conditions aren't ideal on a non-gaming computer, you can still get, you know, your fill of gaming when you're away from your main gaming stations. But it's also important to note as well that when playing plugged into external power, it didn't really make much difference when I unplugged it and played on battery power, which was pretty impressive as well. It's good to see that. I hate it when there's those auto features that you can't overcome that dip everything and make everything a lot worse. Now, the sound, the two stereo speakers included. There is a microphone in there as well. And I did a little bit of a test here to see how it sounded against my Apple iPad Pro. So have a listen of that now. So there you go. That's what the sound sounds like there when I had them both put at their maximum volume. I think the iPad Pro had, well, they've got 4 speakers, so it's a little bit louder and a little bit more bassy and a little bit clearer. But for the performance of this one with a stereo output, not bad at all. Very, very good quality there. Now, the last thing I'm going to mention here is the 360-degree hinges, which is probably one of the most amazing things about it and the most convenient things about it. Now, as a normal laptop, it opens and it closes, right? But you do have the ability to swing this around full 360 degrees, and it folds completely back on itself. And now, let me just get this back on. We'll sign in. It auto rotates for you as well. I'll try not to get too much glare. It'll auto rotate depending on which way you hold the computer, which is easy. It's like a tablet. That's what they should. So you can use that there as a tablet, and it'll ask if you want to put it automatically in tablet mode. You say yes, and it'll make it a lot more accessible when you're using it in tablet mode without a keyboard. So you can scroll through, open up things like that. And then if you want to put it back to a normal computer, it'll ask you again, do you want to remove it from tablet mode? You say yes, and it goes back to like a normal PC. Now, I like to use this as a tablet as well. So when I'm sitting on my lounge, I might want to prop it up like this, put it into tablet mode, and I sit the computer on the arm of the lounge chair, and I can use it like a tablet. And a good thing as well, underneath here, there are 4 legs which extend the base that it's sitting on above the keys. So it's not actually sitting on the keys. It does turn the keys off. So if you do bump the keyboard keys underneath while you're using it, it's not going to be pressing all different keys. So when it's in this, when you fold the screen this far beyond the 180, it automatically switches off that keyboard for you for that reason. You can use it this way. You can also flip it up and have it kind of like a tent, like that, and use it like that to display. You can put it however you like. You could even stand it up like that if you want to use it that way. I don't know why you would. Maybe you've got some sort of application for it, but yeah, so there's all these different ways that you can fold it around or just use it completely as a tablet. So depending on where you are, I like to use it just like a normal laptop when it's on the table. It's the most convenient, and it's nice and easy to put it back into desktop mode. So that's pretty good there. Now, my overall thoughts of it, what do I think of it? Now, it's not going to blow you away with performance for video games, but if it's going to replace something like an iPad, it is a good suggestion for it, because obviously, you know, with an iPad or a tablet, there are a lot of limitations, and this has the power of a laptop, but the convenience and the abilities to do the cool things that tablets can do, like folding them in half, you know, and just having the screen portion rather than a big setup like this, but also the touch screen, because it has the touch screen features in it. You can use Windows like a tablet, like a phone, whatever. So it is actually a pretty good device. It looks good. It looks very good. It has the brushed aluminium look on it, the nice ASUS logo on the front there. It feels solid. It feels like a well-made piece of machinery or piece of hardware here. Like it is like an alloy or some form of metal exterior, so it feels good in your hands, and it feels solid, like it's not going to fall apart. So all the buttons feel nice and durable. Those hinges look quite nice with that brass kind of color there. And it all just feels like a real well-made computer, and it's nice and thin. And yeah, I do recommend that for anyone who's looking at something like a tablet, but maybe wants a little bit more functionality, so the ability to copy files across, do word processing, but also wants to use it like a tablet, so convenience there. So look, all in all, this computer is actually something that I would definitely consider using for day-to-day use. Now this one, obviously, thank you very much to ASUS for this loan computer, but if this was my computer, I would be very, very happy in using it. So this is just finishing up the ASUS ZenBook Flip UX360UA. That's the model there. All the details and specifics will be in the description below. If you've got any questions, please post them in the comments. Remember, be nice to everyone. We are not all scientists, so if someone gets something wrong in the comments, let's just be nice and correct them in a good way. If there is something that you think I've missed or would like mentioned, feel free to put that in the comments below as well. But anyway, I am Lucas from Aussie Gamers Express. If you want more, please like and subscribe to my channel, Aussie Gamers Express, and also come across to our Facebook page, and we also have a weekly podcast, which is Aussie Gamers Express on iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio, and go across to our website at www.aussiegamersexpress.com and have a look at what we've got there to share. That's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I will see ya.